Hello everybody, Goodbuddy here with another vlog that I do every week now. I'm so pointy today. Look at me, just point, point, point. I'm on point. Ha, ha ha ha, ha. I did it. Anyway, so vlog time is here again, and everybody was asking me questions this time, and so it's like, I can't answer them all. So as per usual, I'm going to do asking corner, and then I'm just going to talk about stuff. Nothing's really changed. By the way, like just in recent life, I have no important announcements or anything, so it's like, that I don't fucking know. Yeah, so asking corner, here we go. These are either the most popular questions or just questions I saw that I was like, I want to answer that. And whatever I don't, I'll probably go back in the comments and answer them. Yep. So the most popular question I ever got was about Dig. It's like, how'd you meet him? Got good memories? Why you living together? So on and so forth. So I'm gonna answer those. This isn't really a question, but just in general. Important thing to note about Dig. Dig is non-binary, so their pronouns are they. Because I still see people referring to Dig as a she, and it's like, no. No. Or calling us gay. Or homo. Because we're not. Because Dig's non-binary, so it's like, we're technically not homo because we're not the same gender? Like, yeah. So that's a thing to keep in mind. Yes. Sorry, I'm still impressed at how pointy my hair is today. I look like an anime pro tag. Anyway, so how did I meet Dig? I went to a DreamTalia meetup in a town really far away that I didn't usually go to, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna. And so, at the time, I was really into Professor Layton. I wanted to get into Ace Attorney, but I didn't know how to. Like, all the games were really expensive, and I just started college, and, like, I was talking to my friend, I was trying to get into Professor Layton, but they were, like, kind of meh, and all of a sudden, here comes an Austria cosplayer, be like, did I hear Professor Layton? And I was like, yes. Do you know it? Yes. Oh my god. So we just sat around and talked about it. And I talked about how I didn't really know Ace Attorney because I couldn't play the games. And they're like, I have the whole series if you want to borrow it. So they literally mailed me Ace Attorney. And so we just talked about that. And I just delved into this fandom. Because they didn't really have much friends because they lived out in the country. So this was new. And stuff. That's how we met. Italian meetup talking about Professor Layton because they literally just eavesdropped on my conversation and then just kind of slid in. Someone asked why we're living together and if Dig's in college. Dig is not in college, and we're living together because we're in love. And people asked, how did you guys decide to do that? Did you get, well, a funny story. I got evicted from my last place because the rent got too high. So, like, at the time, Dig was also trying to look for a place out, and I was poor as hell. I could not afford somewhere else to move at that time. And so it's like, if we combine our resources, we can. And we love each other, so we can. And then we did, and it was one of the best decisions ever, because we just worked so well together. It makes me happy on the inside. Some people were like, tell us a cute or a good memory of yours. Some being like with Dig or just myself. Let me tell you about the story of how we fell in love, because it's evident everywhere, and you'll see why. So, it was the first time, I had really bad, associations with Germany cosplays back in the day. Once upon a time, I got really fucked up about Germany, and I just was like, no, I could never. But then one day, like, we were talking about Jurita, because it's our OTP, and I was like, you know what, I could be Germany, because he's great, and he's part of my soul. And Dig's like, well, then I'll be Italy if you be Germany. And I'm like, yeah, cool. So we were them for the first time at a meetup, and, like, we did some, like, acting stuff, and it's just we really worked well together. I think it was the first time we were ever a pair in a cosplay, because usually it was like Austria and some other thing. I was either Canada or Italy or something. At that meetup where we first met, I was Canada, by the way. And, like, sometime, like, it was really cute. And then one time we were just wandering around, because we went to a park for this meetup. And all of a sudden, Dig's like, ooh, flowers! And just, like, laid out on the grass. I was like, flowers? And he's like, yeah, these are called day flowers. Back in, like, summer camp, we used to make them into flower crowns. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, you want to make some? It's like, I don't know how. I was like, oh, just sit down, I'll show you. And then we made flower jewelry together. And I still own them 5 years later. Like, just happened 5 years ago. And, like, in that day, and more specifically that moment, was the moment I started to realize I was starting to fall in love with them. And it freaked me out, because then that would mean bad things. And I thought, that went for like a year and a half before I actually confessed my feelings in the most awkward and ridiculous way possible. But that's another time. So, yeah, as you may notice, it's like, that sounds familiar. That sounds like the story of First Date. That's the point. I put our falling in love story in First Date because I'm trash. And they're actually the reason why flower crowns are in DreamTalia in the first place. I was like, it's a symbol of love and friendship and holy shit. And then I did it. So moving on to that, people have been asking, what inspired DreamTalia? Well, I was telling my friend, her name is Jackie, and she's a good friend, and we would RP all the time. And this one time, I went over to her place in New York, and she was talking about this OC she made. It was a dream creature. It was in mirrors, and it would take people into dreams. I was like, oh, that sounds so cool. And she's like, yeah, I really want to do a Hitalia with it. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool, let's do it. And she's like, oh, but I thought that you would think it's boring. I was like, no, that's fucking awesome, let's do it. So we turned that into a Druid RP, and it's my fucking favorite RP ever. I mean, that's even how Rev came to be, because I wanted to make a counteractive nightmare creature with it and stuff. But, like, later on, down the road, Piano and I became friends because I hit to Oni, and Piano's like, oh, I want to make my own original game. And I was like, well, I got ideas. Here's some ideas. And Druida caught the eye, the DreamTalia one, and he's like, well, if we can make it less gay, we can do it. And I was like, okay, cool. And now it's here. It's a Druid RP. The Druid RP was more focused on, like, choosing fantasy versus reality in relationships. This is mostly just this. Like, the Arcanas did not exist. All that was really straightforward. Even Illy was more involved in the original story. Like, really more involved. It makes me kind of sad, but that's how translation stuff, I don't know. And someone also asked, like, what inspired Hitorella. I'm thinking about making a list, discuss about this someday, but oh my god. So, if y'all ever read, like, y'all know the Grimm ones, the fairy tales. I make it a hobby. Well, it's not a hobby. It's like a free-form thing to do. I like to do. Is I like to look up different fairy tale adaptations, because with every culture, it's different. By some means, and it's just all the retellings have something different to them, and it's really interesting. And Hitorella mostly came around because it was the story that's mostly based from is an Italian version called Cat Cinderella, where Cinderella had to murder her mom. That's fun. Dig told me about hearing that on a podcast once, and I was like, dude, so I read it, and I was like, dude, we need to do this, and so I looked into so many other stories of Cinderella, like different adaptations, Grimm, other languages, the other Italian one, because there's more than one, and I was like, we need to put them together, make a story, so like, yeah, and it's like, we are going to be making, sequel to Hitorella with 2Ps, and that one's going to be more based on the Grimm one, so yes, so that's how that story's going, and we're going to be doing other ones too, like Snow White, I forget which ones we have for sure planned, but I know Snow White is the definite next part of the series, but we just need to get Hitorella done first. Like, there's a lot of it done, we just haven't shown it. I want to show it, because it's almost a year old. Grr. Anyway. Now for some shorter questions, because it's already past 10 minutes, but this is really fun to talk about. I'll just be a lot more quicker with them. Okay, favorite scent of soap is cucumber melon. That's my favorite scent ever. Like, ever. It's really nice and fresh. 10 out of 10. Do I have pets? No. I used to. They were the family pets. 2 beagles. And, of course, old age happens, and after I moved out, they died. So, for now, we are in no position to have any pets right now, so we have none. But there's a dog-shaped hole in my heart. People asked what are my favorite games outside of Hit Games. The Professor Layton and the Ace Attorney series. I think I'm leaning more towards Professor Layton. I've played, like, all the games, and it's like... I even played the, Layton Brothers Mystery Room. That one's fucked up. It's good shit, though. It's good shit. Someone asked, what do you do if you ship something and no one else ships it? You do it anyway. Like, I ship things that no one ever fucking ships. Like, 2P Russia Prussia. Like, they're both 2Ps. Russia Prussia. Rupru, 2P. Fucking love it. And, yeah, like, Gary Pan, it's like, if people don't like it, then they can just fuck off. If you want to ship it, then ship it. Do it. Yeah. Digi asked if... something about that. Digi and Dig are 2 totally different people. I know one is D-I-G-I and one is D-I-G, but they're both totally different. One is, like, more dignified and one is more Digimon. So, there's 2 diff. Yes, not the same person. Anyway, they asked if I have any plans for summer. I have one plan. Going to go to Lubo's house for a week and a half. That's gonna be fun. We're gonna do, like, recording some fanfic, maybe game stuff, I think. I'm going up there for her birthday, so it's like gonna be fun. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. Other than that, no. Like, we're not really doing anything else, because Dig's working all the time. And, yeah, there's nothing we really want to do, so. Maybe someday. My favorite animal's a dog. My favorite movie is Moulin Rouge. My birthday is August 12th. 1, 2. People asked what animes I watched before I got into Italia. I don't really watch much of it now. But I used to watch Yu Yu Hakusho, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially was like my big obsession. So I still have like a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh! Merch. I also went to the old days of, like, Inuyasha, Ranma 1/2, DBZ, Sailor Moon, all that good stuff. So, yes. My favorite Pokemon is Haunter. I don't know why. I think it's because of the Sabrina the Sabrina arc in the anime, and it's just cool in general. It's just a fucking prankster. I think it was that one episode of, like, the 3 ghosts, like, they get Ash's ghost and they go cause ruckus. That and Sabrina's Haunter it's my favorite. It's good shit. And last question, someone asked if they could send in, like, if people could send in packages or letters or stuff to us for me to open, like, on here or just for gift as general. Like, I talked it over with Dig about that, actually. And it's like, yeah, but you'd have to contact me first via, like, Tumblr, DeviantArt, something, or email, most likely. And I'd have to send it to an address that's not my own, because until we get a P.O. box, if it's something people actually want to do, because having people know our address would be freaky. Just a little. So it'd be our friends' address. Yeah, so you need to talk to me in private about that. But, oh, and you need to tell us what it is. Even if it's a surprise, at least tell us the basics, because we don't want you to send us something weird, or something we're not allowed to have. Like drugs. You can't have that. Anyway, so I went on a lot longer than I meant to, and I apologize, but I do have a planned topic for today. It kind of ties in with the whole DreamTalia thing I was talking about earlier, but, basically, the topic today is patience. And you're like, what? Like waiting for stuff? Sort of. So, you know, as I told you all with the DreamTalia story earlier, of, DreamTalia, I'll tie it in with earlier questions in a second. But, like, so DreamTalia, as y'all know, or some of you know, it is 4 years old this year. I've been working on it for 4 years. I was 19. I was 19 when I started it. So, and I'm like 23 now. So that's like a long time. And, like, I had to work for it too. Like, there were some years where barely anything happened, but I still kept plugging into it and stuff like that. And to try to make it what it is now. I've sunk money into it. I've sunk a lot of time. I've sunk so many hours into doing it. And it's like, I get questions sometimes from people of like, did you ever expect it to be this popular? Or how can you do it? And it's like, or some comments of like, I can never do a thing like that. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you know, a lot of people have actually the, not the wherewithal, but the ability to do these sort of things, because the original DreamTalia, not the story, but the original draft was shit. It was absolute shit. It was full of stereotypes. It was full of really bad stuff. I think someone called it racist once. I fixed that, though. It was an accident. But, yeah, the original draft was shit. And people called me out on it. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I was sad about it for a while. It was like, that's my baby. But I just went with it. I fixed it. I moved on. So, like, with projects and stuff, and things you're really passionate about, I'm tying this to would be a general thing, like, things you're really passionate about, and things you want to do, you need to have patience for that. Because, and also, motivation to go into it, I guess. Of, like, if you really wanted to go ahead, you need to put stuff into it. Like, just be like, oh, I'll never get it done, I might as well not try. Like, find ways to do it. If you yourself cannot physically do it at all, no matter what happens, look into something else. Look into other options. Have friends or something, or call out to another thing. And if that doesn't work, keep trying. If you really want this, just go get it. I guess it's not as much as patience, it is just go do shit. Don't let anything stop you. Because, yeah, things take time. Things takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. Like, when I get questions of, like, when is the next episode of this? Or, when are you going to be doing more of this? It's like, calm down, I'm working on it. To make it be good enough quality, like, it does take a long time. Of other people putting in their input to put in the art and stuff, and it's like, also a patience of other things too. Like, I saw a lot of comments on there about, like, well, just in general about me and Dig, of like, first off, yes, we're dating, we've been dating for 4 years. Some people don't realize that. It's like, how? We're so lovey. Well, I'm so lovey, mostly. But, like, when it came to them, I met them when they were 16. No, when they were 15. Right. And I was only 18 when we met. And we didn't get together for, like, 2.5 years? Something. But, Jesus Christ, it took forever. Like, and I was 18. I just started college. So, I didn't even have a chance for love or anything. I was like halfway through college when this happened. When we've actually got together. So things happen in time. You have to wait for things. Some people are impatient of like, oh, why don't I have a boyfriend/girlfriend/date mate yet? Or, oh, why can't I be popular yet? I'm doing all I can. And it's like, I started DreamTalia in college, too. Like, I was trying to do it throughout college. High school, I barely did anything. Like, before my Let's Playing, all I did was, like, AMVs and stuff, and not very good stuff, and just kind of shitty fanfic. But, like, so, things take time. You have time to craft things. Just because you don't have it now doesn't mean you can't work towards it in the future. So, like, you can't just expect things to fall into your lap. You have to go get it. I guess, like, it's more just patience as it is just, I would say determination, but then everyone's like, oh, lol, Undertale. And it's like, I'm trying to make a point here. But, yeah, things take time. So patience really is it, of like, patience for making, and you're not gonna fall in love instantly, like some people do, and that's fantastic. But sometimes it's friendships that form over years and years, and then you both realize you really like each other for not whatever reason, but I guess for whatever reason, because I don't even know what your reason would be. So, like, you need to be open-minded. You need to, like, take opportunities when you see them. Because, like, whatever you can get, like, get your foot in the door. If you want to do something, try for it. And if you don't, that's okay. Either A, try again, B, move on to the next best option that suits you. So, yeah. So even though Crying's like, I'm gonna be alone forever! Well, it might be down the line. Like, my parents didn't even meet till they were, like, past 30. So, yeah. It happens. And that's okay. I mean, we have all the time in the world. And it's also a motivation to keep going. Because it's like, yeah, things may seem bleak. And, you know, you don't really see much of a reason to live. Or a reason to do anything. Or even try. But that's because maybe your reason might be coming up later. Because your window of opportunity is not open yet. So you just need to wait for the time. And then also just kind of wiggle the handle a little. So when it does open, you just go whoosh and just go straight open for you. You just jump right through it. Right out the window. I should have said door. Whoops. So that's my topic of discussion today. Of motivation and patience. Of if you see something you really want to do, or like coming back into that one of like when I was doing that, when I was doing DreamTalia, I refused to code because that seemed really hard, and I was like, I could never understand it, and if I try, I would make it even worse. Even though everyone was like, well, why don't you do it? Because I'm too busy. And I'm like, no, I can't. But then when the time came when I was out of school and I had a lot more time on my hands, I was like, fuck it, I'm tired of waiting. Okay, teach me how to code. And then I did, and then I ended up, by now, coding more than 85% of the game by myself. All the mapping, all the events, all that stuff, more scripting, more everything, that was me. I did it because I wanted to take control of my own, the project of this thing, and I was tired of waiting for other people, especially those who didn't care about it anymore. So it was like, yes. So if something seems hard, and if you want to do something, but it's like, oh, but this thing though, I would totally ruin it. Try, and really try. So then you can at least give it a decent shot, because then you just have only yourself to blame if something went wrong. And if you do just take it in your own hands, then if something does go wrong, you can try to fix it, because you would have more control over it. Yes. So control, motivation, and patience. I'm probably going to title this patience. Because, you know, patience for love, patience for opportunities, patience for, you know, letting things happen if they happen. Which is another good point of patience of, like, if something bad is going on in your life, most likely, you're going to get past it. Like, if something really shitty's going on, like, stuff, like drama, or a really hard time in your life, like, depression is hitting you, anxiety attack, things at home not being good, or things with friends aren't being good, time moves on. And if you just have a lot of patience, you can just stick it out and just wait for things to, you know, keep going. Like, you can't just sit there and wait for it to fix itself, though. You gotta go get it. Like, always. As I am telling you. Yes. So that is my advice of be patient for opportunities in life, and even if you are patient, don't just sit there and wait for it to drop in your lap. you should also try to give it a bit of a push too, to get it more closer to you, or to fulfill a dream, or to get a loved one, or something. Or friendship is also good too. 10 out of 10. So I think that is it for my vloggy vlog today, because I don't really have anything much to comment on my real life, because Dig's working, I'm still here, as always. That's okay. That's why I'm here with y'all. Yay. And the advice for today, I actually have a pretty good advice that ties into the lesson. It turned into an accident that tied into the lesson, but then I accidentally made it that way, and it's like, okay, sure, why not? Whoops, I'm sorry. So, the advice today is try things like food or activities or things like, give it at least a try. Don't just pass it off because it's like, it's hard, or it's gross. Like, at least have a try before you say something. Like, and don't just half-ass it either. If you purposely half-ass your attempt, it's gonna have a negative effect. At least go in with a positive note. So even, give it your best shot. And, if it really doesn't work out, then, well, give it your best shot. It can't work in any situation. Compared to, like, whatever, and just turn tail and run out. Because you didn't wait, like, 5 more minutes. Like, for example for this, Dig's family goes to a sausage festival every year. Like, it's neat. I go with them. It's really tasty. And with it comes with, like, a really German dinner. Like, sausage, mashed potatoes, dinner rolls, sauerkraut, and all that stuff. We're not really much of a fan of sauerkraut. And Dig's dad especially is not. But he's always unsure because he doesn't eat it that often. Like, he only eats it at Verbort because there's no really other reason to eat sauerkraut. So every year he tries the sauerkraut. He tries it on its own, he tries it with the sausages and the other dishes to see if he likes it. And if not, well, then he just doesn't like it. Because, sometimes your opinions on food change over the years. Like, one year you don't like broccoli, the next time it's your favorite fucking vegetable. That happened to me once. I was like, yeah, broccoli! And I ate so much of it at the end. And so, yeah. At least have a try at it. Try? And if you want to try again, you absolutely can. Because, again, sometimes opinions change over time, and sometimes you gain more experience. So, if an activity seemed really hard before, but you want to try it again later on, go for it. It may have become easier because you got more experience, or maybe your thought process has changed. Yeah, that's about it. Yes. So again, I opened their stuff, and yes. People have been asking about my stuffed animal collection, but I realized my favorite one's missing, so I probably will hold off from introducing the stuffed animal family until I find him. Again, he's really tiny, so he's really hard to... he's hard to have a hold of sometimes. It's like you put him somewhere, he's gone. You need to make sure he's with his family, or else you don't see him. He's sad, but someday I'll find him again. Yes. So, patience, try things, motivation, and I love you. I always love you. I love you. Yes. Friend. I know some sign language. Not a lot. Anyway. I'm just rambling at this point because I can. So, if y'all have any questions for me, feel free to. And if you have any topics you would like me to discuss, sort of, any vloggy things you'd want me to do, yes. Even if it's just, I know some people said house tour. My house is a mess. Like, we had a guest over, so it's an extreme mess. Like, maybe when it's all clean again, I'll do another house tour. But yes. So, suggestions, recommendations, and questions are nice. So, I'll be back next week. I like doing these. These are nice. These are fun. So, have a good day, everybody. Bye. 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 Fucking mic. Bye. Ooh. Ooh. It's hard. Have a good day, everybody. Bye. 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 It's cute enough. Yay.